One of the releases that we want to talk about that has been talked about in past releases as well is the list enhancements. They continue to be a beta optional turn on for you in the system. So number one, I want to remind you that that is still there. And there is also some new stuff they've added to it based on the user experience and the feedback that has been provided. So what you'll see in some of the list areas in the system, mainly in the vendor list or customer list, you'll see them throughout. You'll have different places where you can try to turn these on, but the one we'll talk about today is right in the vendor screen. So traditionally, if you want to, make a custom view, change your filters, you have to kind of filter in here. If you want to show every vendor that has the name glass in it, you'd have to put a % and then glass in front of it and then get all your glasses. So that's kind of there today. If you want to make views, you have to switch and create a new view and then edit it from there. So if I want to edit this vendor balances view, I'd have to come into here and edit, and it takes you into this wizard. It's a little clunky to go next. There's a lot of steps to it. So what they have now, what they're going to be coming out with is these list enhancements. And you can see over here on the right, if it's available in this area, you'll see this button over here, turn on list beta interface. You could turn this on and off, testing at will. It will retain your settings, so you won't lose anything as you go here. I'm going to put this back to all. But what you can do is if I come into here and just say turn this on, it's gonna radically change your view. This is kind of the new list enhancements view that eventually will become standard in the system. But what they want you to do is play around with it, test it, and provide feedback. So as you're going through this, if there's something in there that you like about it, let them know. If there's something in there that you wish they had that's not there, let them know. But send that feedback. And what you'll notice is a very more interactive type of screen where I can literally just take this column and move it back and forth. Okay, before you had to go into that wizard. So that's huge. If you want to add filters, you can do that. What's most important is if I want to see any vendor that has the word glass in it, I don't need the % sign anymore. It'll just do it intuitively. So they've really enhanced the filtering capabilities in here. The other aspect of this that's been in there as well for a few prior releases is the ability to have this side-by-side view. So instead of finding my vendor or whatever list you're in and then clicking on the contact to go into the screen to edit it, you can actually have a side-by-side view, and it's really just toggling this button here. This button here to have a list view versus side by side. And what's really cool is I can click on the Buffalo Building Company and now it will show me that vendor's record and all the information that's set up on that vendor. If I want to edit it, I can just click the edit button right here, go edit my field. So let's say we're going to add a mobile phone. And I can hit submit and make my saves. And looks like we got some payment requests in process, so I can't change the record yet. And then you can just move on. So it's really nice. If you want to create a new vendor on the fly, you have this little create button right here. You can do that on the fly. And you can always switch back and forth. When you're done looking at details, you can click on this button and it takes it back and forth for you. Okay? The other thing you can do is easily make your own views. So you have this manage views here. And you'll notice is you'll have these views that are public, but also views that are user specific. So you can now make private views. So if I come into here and I configure my column, I can do that from here. Actually, let's take a step back. Let's go back to manage views and let's create a new, let's start with this view. So I'm going to say create new or save as. So in this case, I want to do a save as, and I'm going to call it my list and do a save as. Okay. And now I can edit that. I can edit that view from here. And in there, you have this shared option. So it's no more of a wizard. It's more of an up and down here, and it's a little easier. But I can make this private or public. And right now it's a private view, so it should only show up for me. And now I can go through this whole thing. I can add columns. I could wrap the columns instead of clipping them. So if I have a vendor name, I just want to wrap that column. I can add, subtract. I could freeze columns, which is huge. Let's freeze the first 2 columns. There's just a lot more possibilities in here. Filters, and the one big thing with filters is it's very easy to add multiple filters and put an or statement in there now. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory. It's very visual. I can click save, and now I have a new view from there as well. And then you're good to go. So you can see here now I have wrapping and I have columns that are frozen. And then you can see here my list, and you can see user view is only going to show up for me here, but I can get back to the public anytime I want. So please go in, play with these, turn these on and off. As I turn these on and off, whatever I did while I was playing will remain and come back for me. But when I'm done playing, you can just hit turn off beta, and it takes you back to your normal look out of the box. So, the more feedback that users can provide, the better it's going to be for everybody. And eventually these views are going to be in the system throughout. So please take some time, play around with it, and send in some feedback. Thank you.